Hello, welcome to this screencast tutorial where we're going to introduce the pain management feature that we've added in our most recent beta release. As you can see, I have logged in to an instance of the Jasmine application which I created in order to do this tutorial. If you haven't already done so, please take the time to log in to your instance of the Jasmine application. Feel free to click the pause button on the video if you need some time to do this. Okay, I'm assuming that we're all logged in, and I'm going to walk you through the steps to enable a new data field for the SOAP note. What I want you to do is come here and click the setup link. I'm going to use my mouse wheel to scroll down, and here on the left hand side under build, I want you to open that create section and click on the objects link. Here again I'm scrolling down and I'm getting to the SOAP note object, and I'm clicking it, and I'm going to scroll down again, custom fields and relationships, and here I find this new field, the pain level field. So I'm going to go ahead and click that link, and this is a description of that field. And what I need you to do is click the set field level security button, and we're going to make this field visible. If I click that checkbox by the visible word, the heading of the column, it'll go ahead and select all the checkboxes below it. So I've basically made this field visible now for all of the profiles that we have in our system. Click the Save button, and here I'm going to use this link to get back to that SOAP note object. So we have one more piece of configuration to do. I want you to scroll down. Again, I'm using my mouse wheel. We're going to scroll down to the page layout session. Now, if you remember, we've talked about this some. The page layout is the visible information about the record. Okay, it's what's actually displayed when you go and look at one of those records. So there's multiple ways to edit the page layout. Of course, when you're looking at the object itself, you have the ability to edit page layout. So click this edit button. Again, this screen may be familiar to you. It shows you all of the fields with sample data. Okay. Now, here we see the pain level value, but I just wanted to show you quickly that if you do a type ahead, right, it will remove everything that doesn't match what you've typed. So it's a quick way to find fields. The SOAP notes has a lot of information. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that pain level, and for me, pain level is part of the subjective analysis, so I'm going to drag it and drop it there. Okay, and now I go ahead and click Save. So what I've done is used the setup menu to configure a new field and make it available, a new field on the SOAP note, and make it available on the SOAP note layout. So if we return to SOAP notes, for example, and I click a SOAP note from my list, we'll see that pain level is now present when I view this record. And of course, as always, I can double click that field and I can add a value and click Save, and there I've just updated one field of the record. Remember, I can also click Edit and put the entire record on Edit, where I can change anything. Alright, so now we've added a new field. What do we do to get data into that field for records that we've already created? I'm assuming that when you do new SOAP notes, you'll add a pain level as a part of editing the new SOAP note. So in order to update existing records, I want to show you some interesting features. Again, we go to the SOAP Note tab, and notice that there's a view menu. There's only one view currently defined, and in order to see that view, we click the Go button. Okay? And here we're looking at all the soap notes I have in my system, okay, sorted by soap note name with some default data. What I want to show you is that you can edit this view. Again, this is the all view. Scrolling down, I can say, oh, well, session start's not that interesting to me. What I really want to see when I look at this all view is, oh, let's say chief complaint and pain level. Okay? So now I've said that the all view, when I look at all the soap note records, should show me these three fields. So I'd click Save. And now we go back and we look and we see that we have all of our soap notes and we're seeing chief complaints and pain level. Okay? Notice that you can also create new views. So for example, if you want to occasionally view your soap notes by chief complaints and pain level, you could say, create me a view called, pain management. You could also, if you want to look at session start and stop, you could do that. Okay? So this ability to create views is really something that you can do to help you manage the data and how you want to see it. Notice also that as long as I'm looking at the soap note name, I have this field here, this set of alphabetical characters. Let's say, for example, I just want to look at Ruth's data. So if I click the R, it's going to filter and show me just the soap note names that start with R. Okay, if I click J, I'll see all the ones for John. We can also sort by chief complaint. Here we now see all our records again sorted by chief complaint, and we still have this filtering. So let's say, for example, the chief complaint starting with P gives me the PMS category. If I click H, since I have two chief complaints that start with the letter H, I'll see them both. I can sort by pain level, okay, but since pain level is numeric, there's no filtering. Right? So let's go back to filtering by soap note name, and let's say we want to update information about John Doe. So I click John, and I see just his records. I can click here, and I can enter a value for John's pain level for that particular record. Okay? So here, basically, I'm going through record by record and updating the pain level one at a time. All right, so there we've just taken a few brief clicks to update a single field across multiple records. Okay, let's go back and look at Ruth again. Notice that I can select records, and if I double click, I have the ability to change that piece of data for just the record I clicked or for all the records that I've selected, 3. Okay? Again, we have a checkbox at the very top that allows me to select or deselect all the records. Again, I could come here and click and set the pain level on this record. Again, it's not terribly useful to set everybody's to a value, but maybe you've been treating someone and that's indeed the case. But here, let's go ahead and show that we've had some progress over time. And I'm updating the individual records. Okay, so now again we can go back and look at all of our soap notes. We notice that we have now pain data for many of our patients, but not all of them. Okay, but this is one way that we can update existing records. So the next thing I want to show you is the new treatment progress report, which has been added in the new release. So we'll go to Reports, go to Jasmine Reports, and there's the patient progress report that has been added. Okay, so here we see a chart and we see some data but we see that it's currently filtered for a single patient. Okay? Well, let's say we want to create a chart where we look at John's patient progress. So we're going to click the Edit button. We come into the Report Edit field, and we want to edit this particular filter. And we want to say John Doe. So here we now see a report that's specific for John. I can click Run Report, and we see his pain data, the level of his pain over time. All right? Now, in order to see this again, we can save this report, and I'm just going to say John Doe Pain Management. I could give a description. It asks me where I want to save it. Right now I'm just going to say save it in my personal custom reports, and I go ahead and click Save. Report unique name. I've been recording this a couple of times, so it looks like I got an error because I already had that report. So let me go ahead and wouldn't be a demo if there weren't a couple of problems. Let's go ahead and give him a different unique name. You can tell I've been practicing my screencast recording. So we'll do John Doe. Okay. Run report. I'm going to save as. And here I'll just call it John Payne. And I'm going to save it in my personal reports. Looks like I'd have to go in and find that unique name and delete it. So there's John Payne, and I can come back here and I can see the report. Now what's unique about saving this report with John's name is if I go back to John Doe, and let's go ahead and add an additional SOAP note. Okay, and again, a fast way to add a SOAP note. I could do it here, but I could also go ahead and clone one. All right, let's pretend he's had another visit in July. I'm going to clone it. I'll update it to the 16th of July. Okay, and give him a different pain level. And then if I go back to my report, and again I could look in my personal custom reports and I'll see John's pain level. You see that we now have the new data from the new record. Okay, so here basically I've used a package report to create one that's specific to an individual patient. All right. Now while we were doing that, I noticed something else I'd like to talk about quickly. If we go back to the contact record, we'll go to John's contact record, we notice that John's got quite a few SOAP notes. Okay, so on the contact record we are relating all of the treatment notes for John in this related list. Okay, we do have the ability to show more of them. Okay, we could have opened a separate page and seen them all. But wouldn't it be nice if we could do something useful with the information that we're displaying here? Okay, well, this is the contact record, and we can edit the layout of the contact record. And one of the things that is on the contact record is related list. And here are all the related lists that are there. Notice we have others that are available, but the SOAP notes is one of the related lists. And I can edit the properties of that particular related list. Again, let's say that session start isn't terribly interesting, but let's say I want to see chief complaints and pain level. Let's also say, for example, I want to see the data that I've had on the points, or perhaps the pulse as well. Okay, so I'm going to say okay, and here I've simply changed the layout of the contact of the related list on the contact record. So now I'll click Save. And here what we see is that I have for John Doe the name of the SOAP note, what the chief complaint was, what the pain level was, if I had recorded it, the points and methods that I used, and the pulse. Okay? So you're able to customize the data that you see on these related lists. Now notice that this also changed it for all contact views. So when I go to see Ruth, all right, we see that the related list for SOAP note records on Ruth's contact record now contains all of that information as well. Okay, so basically this is one view of SOAP note data for the contact records. Notice, remember, that I could also have multiple views for contact data by creating the views here. All right, well, I want to thank you all for your time, and hope you're enjoying using the Jasmine product. Look forward to working with you to improve this, to make it a product that helps support your practice. And as always, Minto and I are available for questions and comments. Thank you very much.